Hey everyone, our Prado 150's got some Toyota crossbars on it, but I've got a Rola Titan Tray and a Ridgemount system to install on here. So just giving the vehicle a bit of a wash to clean the roof, because once I get these bars off, I'm going to give a final bit of a polish on the roof, because it's going to be a while before it sees any love again. First thing you need to do is get rid of whatever you've got on there. So if you've got Toyota bars, you need to find the special little tool. I can tell you, if you can't find it, it's a 5mm hex, but it's a security bit. You got to have the bit with a hole in the middle. You can buy little sets that have got that. So I've just undone those. I'm going to lift those off. That's the first step. And if you've got whatever other rails, you'll have to follow some separate videos to this one to remove the standard roof rails. But this will be a good one for removing the crossbars. They lift off like that, and you'll find 2 more bolts in there, or Allen keys, to better when the light works. Right, so we'll get all that out and you'll see how dirty and disgusting all that is as well. Now, the others I've already removed, but it's actually really simple to remove these. And you'll see these will be for sale too, right? So stay tuned on all our Facebook groups and pages and whatever for whatever, wherever. Is this one a bit more stuck than the next one? Grab a bit of rubber and the whole thing comes off together. Tell you what, I just took the other ones off. They all come off simple. You try and video one. Look at all that dirt and mess that needs to be cleaned out. And I've just cleaned the vehicle thinking, that's what's left, people, when you think it's clean. Look at that. And nothing actually holds these in. It's just luck of the draw if they stay there. So you can pull those out and clean underneath it if you like. Same with these ones here. Same story. Careful using water. Have a look at this one for a bit of build up under there. So believe what can get under that seal is quite a lot, because you've seen it. Cleaned it all up, and we'll continue with the installation. Now that it's clean, we can continue with the installation of the Ridgemount and the Rola Titan Tray. That's me leaning over the door handle, don't worry about that. I've given these a pretty good cleanup. I pulled all the strips out, just so you know, nothing holds them there, they just sit there. At the front there's a little clip, and at the back there's a little clip. Toyota's design is, all their design is, there is a rubber fitting that goes over the top holding these down. Now, on the previous vehicle, I never had one of them blow away, which I said it possibly could if a bit of wind got under there, or hitting it with a pressure washer or anything like that, but I never had any of those issues. But if you like, you could put a small dab of silicone or whatever you like under there just to hold it down, that a small amount, so it's still removable later if you want to remove it. But you don't need to, is what's been proven. I sort of risk it for the biscuit. That's what I do, risk it for the biscuit and see what happens. Now, we've cleaned under here really well. We've pressure washed all the strips. They're all clean like new again. Don't put water down in those holes. That was just damp cloth, did the best I could. Probably spent half an hour, something like that. Fair bit of cleaning, clean up all that mess. Now, next what we need to do is these rubber bootle, bloody square, sticky, really messy sticky things. They're going to go down over the top of what's already there, and then a rubber washer before we put the Ridgemount on top. And then we're going to use the 30mm M8s. So it's not that clear in the instructions if you're reading that. It says use the M8 hardware, but there's 25mm long and there's 30mm long. So I've worked out that I think it's the 30mm long ones. That's what we're going to use to sit in place. Now, the other thing I'm going to do, it also says, and it will be correct information, to use butyl mastic. It's messy stuff apparently. I've never used it. I've never had a tube. I don't know what it is really. I'm just going to say any silicone, any sealant. You can use your RTV if you want. You can use roof and gutter silicone. It's not going to matter. I'd probably just actually neutral cure maybe. No, I'm thinking it wouldn't even matter for this one. Anyway, put in the comments what you think about, but I'm just going to put, like I did last time on the last vehicle, put a bit of silicone down the hole just to be, it's absolutely imperative, let me be clear, that no water gets down these holes. So a little bit down there to help seal the threads. You could use a Loctite thread locker seal type thing. You could put thread tape on the bolts. You can do whatever you want, but I don't think anything's going to get past what we're doing on the outside, but it's just to be sure, to be sure. So for me, bit of silicone down the hole, the mastic blocks, I'll get those on, and the rubber washers I'll show you. A lot of talk, but it's all info that you need. These are the blocks that I'm talking about. They're going to go down first. It doesn't tell you which side goes down first. I guess it's not going to make any difference. Stick one side down, take the tape off, stick it down, and then pull the tape off the top. There's 12 there. Once again, I'm not sure why, because Oh no, there is. That's what you need, 6 each side. That's cool. See, I couldn't count. I'm thinking there's only 6, but there's 6 each side because there's 12 holes. These longer M30, see the longer ones. And we're going to use that with a washer and a spring washer, I think, at this point, but I'll confirm. So to be really clear, on the 30mm bolts, spring washer first, then the washer. I have prepared 12 of those and pull these strips apart. So next tip is poke out the center hole before you go to install this strip. So there's a center hole, it's punched, but it's not, so you got to pop it out so you've got your hole exposed. The bolt will fit through there because you need to see to line it up and have a bit of a feel while you're putting it on there. So pull the tape off the bottom, it's easy to come off, stick it on, pull the tape off the top, and then of course you've got this rubber washer is the next thing that needs to go on there. Right, I haven't put my silicone yet, I'm just demonstrating, so I'm going to sit it so it's quite sticky, this stuff. Have a look what it does, right? Beautiful. Nothing's getting past this anyway, I'm telling you. So you probably don't need to put anything down the hole, but hey, do it anyway, it's not going to hurt. So I'm going to do that all the way around. I'm going to stick 12 of those on there, 12 washers nice and straight in the center of the hole, then put the silicone down the hole, then I'll sit the ridge mount on the correct way. Pretty easy to work out which way is which, but I'll show you when we get to that. If you use a light, when you apply the washer, you'll be able to get it center over the hole. Really easy, just like that. So I've just done a quick test fit, putting one of the bolts in the hole, and it certainly picks up a little bit of that mastic on the inside of the hole and takes it off, which is kind of good too, because that is just going to end up straight down. Can you see the thread down there? A bit further down. That's the idea, is to sort of seal up that channel a little bit. For worst case scenario, in case water does get under the heads of the bolts and sneak its way slowly down past, technically it might get past, but I think the way this rubber's going to squash, it's got no hope. Yesterday I also put some wax on the roof, so it's all beautiful, clean and protected as best as possible for the next probably at least 5 to 10 years before more maintenance is done. There's one side done. Just thought I'd address this concern. Some people are going to look in their vehicles and go, oh, this cracking, what's this cracking and whatever. Don't worry about it. Bit of wear and tear movement, forget about it. It's just a bit of product that's on there, that bit of movement and cracking. Just ignore it. Just put the thing together. Okie doke. So all of those are done. 12 bits and pieces. The bolts are ready. That's what it should look like. Spring washer up the top. The flat washer is going to go against the mounting of the roof rack. Prepare for a bit of black stuff under your nails. This, beautiful stuff. It's just a bit icky, but it's not too bad. They're pretty good to work. The hardest part is poking out the little holes. Do all 12 of those before you get up on the roof and start doing anything. Now I'm going to put a little bit of silicone down the hole around those threads, and then I'm going to lift the ridge mount into position without the brackets on. Depending whose instructions you follow, you're meant to put these on the rack now before you put it up there. But I've worked out, unless I'm wrong, I can put them on while they're up there. I don't need these banging around loose till it's up there. I'll just, do it later. To their own on what you use, but as you can see, roof and gutter is what I said. Weatherproof seal, that's what you want. And as I said, it's often handy to take into account, but this product is a neutral cure. It's going to take a bit longer to dry, but it's not going to have effects with metals and stuff like a acidic one will. So you're going to need the 6mm with you might need quite a few different 6mm Allen keys. We'll see how we go. But a wobble one is going to help a bit for some of the work. And personally, I found a cut down 6mm Allen key was the go from last time. Okay, it's in position, which is good. And I stick to what I say last time about the bolt accessibility. I've had a number of people say the same thing, but just have a look for yourself. See, that bolt is on an angle. You can't get a bolt started on an angle. The front one goes in, no problem. And make sure you leave it all loose, because you need to angle the roof rack. You need to angle the bracket out this way to get the bolt started, right? So it's a bit fiddly. And as I said, you could just slightly make the design hole a bit bigger or move the hole slightly, whatever the case may be. I don't think people would be sort of against or not liking a little extra cutout for access of the Allen keys and taking it down a bit further. 6 little extra slots. I think it'll just help with installation. But that being said, it is possible. It's a bit fiddly, but it's worth it in the end. So we'll continue and we'll get this thing on. But I'm not going to tell you that it's really easy The rest of it's pretty straightforward. It's a little bit time consuming. Get it right the first time, but this is what you need to do. So get all the bolts in there, but leave them loose. You need to be able to wiggle this, you know, across this way like so to get the bolt started. So it's perfectly doable. Because I'm fussy, I'm letting you know what to expect, because I know a lot of you people that watch my videos, you're fussy like me. So the bolts go in no problem, but you see what I mean? There's nothing with this design that holds the rubber down, so you might just want to get that little dot of paper out of there, but you might just want to put a little dob of that roof and gutter silicone under this seal, just a little dob, just to hold it down to secure it there. But you don't have to, because like I said on the previous vehicle, it didn't go anywhere. So you've got your Allen key in there through the hole on the top on an angle, or you can use your cut off one. And when you go to pull it out, because of that, it's on maximum angle, it can be quite tight and stuck to get out, depending what brand Allen key tool you've got. Aside to my whinging and complaining, it's not that hard. It's just a little bit fiddly. I just want to be clear. All right, the bolts go in. Now we're just going to nip all of those up and repeat same on the other side of the vehicle. Now personally, I'm using my cut-off Allen key because it gives you that clearance to the roof rack. So 6mm cut-off is ideal if the roof rack hasn't got ideal access to get to the bolts. And this is why I didn't put those brackets in the way, because it'd be one you can easily get to them afterwards, and they'll just be in the way of trying to get to these. You'll be trying to get under these brackets. So 100% don't put those 6 brackets on, is my instructions. As you can see, that side is done. Just working on this side, the back is done. And maybe it's open to opinion, but I don't deal with opinions. I only deal with facts. And the fact is, I'm going to highly recommend you've got a 6mm cut down Allen key, because let me give you an example. Once again, the angle to get to that, right, it's too much angle to get any pressure on it, right? So you might be able to get it partly started, but to finish the job, this baby's what you want. And I recommend you work from the back. Get all the bolts started from the front first. The front's easiest. Get 2 started, middle 2 started, back 2 started, tighten up the back 2, and then work on these ones, which, as you can see, there's no hole there to access through there. You've only got some holes in the top, as demonstrated. The bolts are over here, holes over there. The angle's a bit too much. So, once again, if there was a hole in the side at the right spot, it would just make life so much easier. You could put a straight Allen key down. Not hard to do. I don't think it would look bad having a couple of holes in exactly the right spot. Same here, right? Like that one, almost, but just bang another hole there. Anyway, there's always improvements, but like I said, little bit of pain for a lot of gain. This is a rock solid, I can't live without it, roof rack. Anyway, that stage is complete. They are on, and even without a roof rack, bloody rock solid. I'm really going to stick to what I said about not putting these on earlier, because they would certainly, last time, check the video, they were in the way, I believe, from memory. And they would certainly, I could see where they'd be massively in the way. So put those on later, in my opinion. Next thing you want to grab in your hot little hand is one of these brackets, 2 of the flat washers and 2 nylocks. This part, some people is going to say is fiddly, and they should have put it on before they put the rack up there. So it's certainly an each to your own. That's where your mounting bolts are, in behind there. That's where the plate is. Not going to be so much in the way on this one, but let's see what happens when we get up this way. Anyway, put it in this configuration with the nuts and bolts facing down. You've got to lift, put your hand underneath, put a washer on, nylock nut, a 13mm ratchet spanner would be ideal. And what I do when I fit them up is pull it outwards, because there's a bit of adjustment in these, a bit of movement. So I just pull it flush outwards towards the center of the roof rack, so I've got less protrusion at this side, and that way, and it points straight at the opposite side, you know, lined up towards the other side. But I don't think it matters, because there's enough movement and adjustment in the roof rack when it comes on in these holes. So get those nice and straight as you can and nip those up. Don't over tighten them, you'll snap them off. Again, it's probably going to be about 20 Newton meters is my guess, but you can't get a torque wrench under there. So once you feel they're tight, that's it. Then they're nylocks. They're not going to come loose. They're not going to go anywhere. No need to go too crazy. That's what it's going to look like. 6 of those, get them on there. Okay, next tip and trick. This one, back one's done, but I noticed where you could go wrong, so I'm going to give you the tips so you can avoid it. When you're putting these on, technically, I'm going to put it the wrong way just for a minute. upside down would be wrong. But see how it goes in either set of holes? It can go in that one or that one. So I just want to let you know, put it in the elongated holes, obviously. Like I said, there's a bit of adjustment. So that's the back two on the rear. That round one, that's designed, like I said, for access to that bolt under there, even though, you know, as demonstrated, it's sort of, anyway, it's a bit of a conundrum, but these two elongated holes are the ones you want. Now, we haven't got a lot of hardware left. We've got 12 25s. We've got 12 nuts and must be 24 washers, because now you've got to get your mate, or I'm going to try and do it on my own. Anybody here? Nah, not at the moment. So it's one of those things. Lift the roof rack on, sit in position. The M25s, put a washer on them, drop them through from the top, and put a washer underneath and a nylock, and then you can line up your roof rack and nip it up. Now I've got to read some more instruction and work out why I've got leftover drop and turn bolts. It's either for fitting accessories, or if you're going to fit the roof rack in a different way to different bars or something along those lines. But these are really handy, so I'll put those aside in case I need them for something, but I think that's what they're for a different fitment option. That's why I think obviously there's 6. Anyway, mate, you turned up just in time. Thanks for giving me a hand to lift this on. Just tell me, why is it you're still on the first one and I'm nearly run out of bolts and done the rest? What's going on there?
Maybe I'm slow, but the roof's so slippery.
Yeah, that's all the wax I put on it. Like I said, people check this out, right? You put this in, anyway, that's a flat bit, didn't work anyway. But up the front there, put anything on the roof, it's gone. All right, next step. So get your mate to lift it on. It should just line up like that, and then you just drop your bolts through like that, and then you got to hold your washer and your nut underneath, and then you get your alignment left and right, back and forward, exactly how you want it, considering if you're going to have awnings. I'm going to maybe have a rear awning, so this gap here, I'm going to adjust it. I'm going to bring the rack back a little bit. So, hey, don't tighten anything up yet, so that when I put an awning on, it's not rubbing on the paintwork, but it's going to cover the back door. Is going to be, so I really kind of want this, probably, I should check on the old vehicle that isn't here anymore, but close to the edge, right? Probably 10, 20 mil in. But anyway, that's a video. Bada bing, bada boom. Get your Rola Titan Tray. Very tough. Do it once, do it right. Rola Titan Tray with a Ridgemount. That's pretty much all the tools and equipment I use. 4mm, 6mm. They're left over. 13mm spanner. The ruler, what was that for? Another tip. On the Prado 150, if you measure from the back of the first square, I've got 30mm each side to center it. This is the other side. See, same story. Give or take a mil, whatever. The back of the back hole, about 65 each side, more or less. Bloody beautiful. Bloody fantastic. Beautiful. Straightforward how they go in. They're nylocks. Once again, you don't have to go crazy. Once they're all the way in, they're tight. That's about it. I just zipped them in with the gun till it went a couple of dugger-duggers. You know, the small gun, the little impact driver, the Ryobi. So don't go too crazy. Again, nylocks, they're not going to come loose. I reckon that's a video. That's about it. Catch you in the next one. Hope it helps. Better have a quick look from the front. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. I likes it. I likes it. All right, take a quick photo for the thumbnail. I reckon maybe, what do you reckon? Maybe that one? Maybe that one? Maybe. Better take a final look at this beautiful thing at this side as well. Look at that. Love it. Bloody fantastic. All right. Now we just got to add adventure.